Episode 9. Bottle episode, not a bottle episode. It's very weird. And it's your boy Icon with another DC animated television review for you, going over that Harley Quinn. And before we get started, hit that notification bell, like and or subscribe to my channel. Help me get those watch time hours up because I'm actually close. Like, I'm close to hitting the amount of watch time hours necessary for monetization. And if we're that close, what the hell, we might as well go for it. So let's check out my other reviews, other videos that I have up on my channel, and let's get started. So this one, it starts with Simp Wayne, and he's with the Joker because the Joker is trying to get him to sign a form for his daughter that has to do with college. Lois is back. Lois finally came back. She's driving around Metropolis basically in a rut, like she's just eating her troubles away. I thought she was actually doing some significant shit. Apparently she's not. And she's trying to figure out what to do with her life. This is the moment before, because we saw in the last episode that Harley, Ivy, Lex, and her mother got to Metropolis, and then they witnessed that Metropolis was gone. This is like right before that happened. So they're there. So Lois is there, like Bruce is there, Joker's there, and then that's when we see the scene where Lena actually takes Metropolis and shrinks it and puts it in the glass. We also got a flashback that takes place like when Lena was a child, when Lena and Lex were children, how Lex had a model of Metropolis. He had like a model city made that had a train that actually moved. Lena was playing with his model toy train of the city, and she accidentally broke it. Lex found out, got mad, and called her all sorts of bitches and said she was useless and she was a mistake and that her parents never should have had her. So she's basically been disrespecting her this entire time. And now it's time for her to get her magic revenge, because now she tells all the robots, because she can control all the robots with her brain, she tells all the robots, go get me my brother. And now they're trying to find him, but she thinks he's in the jar, like because she shrunk the city, she thinks he's in the city somewhere, but she's actually with Harley and them. So the robots are now running wild because they're trying to find Lex. Bruce comes outside, him, Lois, and the Joker together. They start fighting off the robots and trying to help the people. And it's funny because the dynamic between like Lois Lane and Joker was, was actually pretty hilarious. Like the two of them just like their banter going back and forth. So Harley gets the idea because she was talking to her mom and she was talking to Ivy. She was just like, you know, how can we take her down? And then her mom had came up with the idea. She said that, well, if she's in outer space, she must have cloaking technology that's protecting her from outer space. So if we can get somebody to shut off the cloaking technology, at least we'll know where she is. And then Harley got the idea. She was like, there's only one man that'll know where, you know, that has the technology to do that. And then she takes her mother, Poison Ivy, and Lex Luthor in the goddamn Batcave. Because I forgot that she knows his secret identity because she spent that one season with the Bat family. And she brought Lex into the Batcave. So but she doesn't want Ivy or her mother and obviously Lex to know that Bruce Wayne is Batman. So when she gets into the Batcave and then she calls Bruce has like a camera watch phone thingy. Bruce answers and he's like, Harley, what are you doing in the Bat? And then she was like, I'm in the Batcave, home of Batman that you work with, Bruce, with my mother and Poison Ivy. And he's like, yes. He said, because Wayne Enterprises pays for Batman stuff and everything. and then Lex had got mentioned, and then he was like, you brought Lex Luthor into the Batcave? He's like, bitch, what's wrong with you? You know, he was like, did you at least put a paper bag over his head so he couldn't see? And then she was like, she made the face. Lex wakes up, and then like Harley gets off the phone with Bruce. Lex wakes up and he's like, so this is the Batcave. And I was just like, shit. You know, he's just like looking around. And he didn't even question how she got in there. He didn't ask. He wasn't even like, this is the world famous Batcave. Why am I here? How did we get here? He's just like, all he said was, my pennies are bigger. So I'm just like, okay. So now they're talking to Lex, and they're just like, oh, your sister's running wild. And then he was like, my sister is a nobody. And she's like, no, she's actually like, she got the city trapped by the nuts. So we need to, force her to release her grip so she can let Metropolis go. So then Lex, he's just like, okay. He's like, fine. He's like, I'll help you, but I need to get something first. So then the plan was Bruce, who's in the jar, he has to go to Wayne Tower and he has to activate some fancy bat tech that Joker's daughter came up with that will knock out the cloaking on the Brainiac ship. And then the Wayne satellites will look at the ship, see it as a threat, and then the Wayne satellites will blast the ship and bring it back down to Earth so they can get to the ship. So that was basically the plan. So while they get into the Bat jet and they're flying off into outer space, and while they're off in outer space heading towards Brainiac's ship, Poison Ivy had asked Lex like what was in the box, and then he was just like, something, the ultimate weapon to take down my sister. So now they're headed to the ship. Bruce, Joker, and Lois, they're at Wayne Tower. Bruce operates the machine that, stops the cloaking technology. They're standing there, and while they're waiting for Harley's plan to unfold, they're looking at all the chaos, the destruction, like people dying, like people getting blasted by the machines. And the Joker comes out of nowhere and he goes, "Look, goddammit." He said that everything's going awry. We're in trouble. He said, "I've been holding my tongue." He said, "It's about time that I be the adult in the room and I take control." He said, "I need to say the thing that's on everyone's mind and do the thing that nobody has the guts to do." He turns to Lois and says, "Bitch, call Superman." Like, what are we doing? And I said, "Amen." I've been saying that for like 4 episodes. Then she was just like, "I don't want to call Superman." He was like, "Woman." And then Bruce was like, "Well, maybe you want Batman to save the day." And he's like, "What's he gonna do? Like throw a batarang at Brainiac shit?" And then she was like, "I don't want to call him," because she said before he went on his sabbatical, he and I both broke up, and then, I don't want him. I can do without him. And he was like, "Gee," like I felt the frustration in Joker. He was like, "Woman, Jesus Christ." He's like, "Push the goddamn button," and then he pushed the button and it didn't work. Because thanks to the Wayne technology, it knocked out all technology in the city, and then the city went black. So then they ended up going to the Daily Planet, and Lois bust out like a Morse code machine that she used to use to send dirty messages to Superman. She said that he can still hear this, so she took the decoder, and then she started tapping it and to send a message out to Superman to get him to come back. So now Ivy, Harley, and the mother and Lex, they're on Lena's ship. They're on Brainiac's ship. They go for Lena. When they get to Lena, Lex shows up, and then that's when Lena's like, "Oh my God, Lex, it's you," and then she starts freaking out. So then he was just like, He was like, "I know what you want, sister." He was like, "This is what you want, this whole time." And then he gave her the toy train that she broke back when they were children. And then he was just, then Ivy was just like, "Well, she's like, "Why'd you give her that?" Because he said, "All Lena ever wanted was to play with my toys. She just wanted to play with my things." And then she got mad, and she was like, "No, motherfucker." She said, "I actually wanted to beat you." She said, "I wanted to destroy all your toys. I wanted to destroy everything that you had because you treated me like shit when we were children, and you never let me have anything. Like, you never told me that I was important. Like, you basically kept me down. So I wanted to destroy everything that you hold dear." And then that's when Dr. Harleen Quinzel kicked in. And then she started doing the whole therapy thing. She was just like, "Well, Lex, why did you keep her down when she was a kid? And why do you feel this way?" And then Lex basically said he was just like, the reason why he tormented her as a child, the reason why he told her she wasn't shit, and the reason why he destroyed all her hopes and dreams and all her confidence, because he said that he hated the fact that when they were children, people actually liked Lena. He said that Lex was like, "I had to earn my respect. I had to get people to fear me in order for them to respect me, in order for them to take me seriously. But people just genuinely liked you, and I always resented that." And then she was like, "Well, how does that make you feel, Lena?" And then Lena was like, "It makes me feel sad," because she said if it wasn't for that, she said so much time was wasted, and the two of us could have worked together, and we could have built something together. And the two of them had their little conversation. They made amends. And instead of them sending Lex down there so he can stop Lena, the two of them ended up joining forces, and now they're both going to take over the galaxy. Because even Lex said he was like, "Fuck Metropolis." He said, "We could take over the universe." So now they're going to take over the universe. They blasted Ivy, Harley, and the mom. They put them in jars with Brainiac. At this point, we're just waiting for something to happen, because Bruce and them, they did all that they could do. There's nothing left for them to do. Like, they sent the signal, like they dropped the ship. Harley and them, they were supposed to take out Lena, but now that Lena teamed up with Lex, now both Lena and Lex together, they're going to use Brainiac shit to do God knows what. And then Ivy looked over at Brainiac, and she was like, "Motherfucker, like, you need to fix this, because like this was all your fault." And then Harley sad, Ivy sad, everybody sad. Metropolis is slowly dying, and then we look off into the cosmos, into the stars, and then we see the Morse code message that Lois sent out into the universe, which was basically, "Superman, I need you. About damn time." That was how the episode ended, and thank you for tuning in. I'm glad somebody said it, because I've been saying, ever since this shit happened, I'm like, why are we not calling Superman? And I'm like, I know this bitch got to watch. I know you got to watch. And then she was like, "What am I supposed to do? Call my big, strong boyfriend to come sit there?" It's like, yes! That's exactly what you're supposed to do. The Joker frustration was real on this one. So, Superman's fine. So, this was episode 9. So, we got 1 episode left. Superman is on his way, thank God, because that's the only card for them left to play. There was no other, especially now that the Luthors have teamed up together. Bringing Superman back is your only option. That's all we got left. So hopefully we'll hear that. And then Superman will come, he'll clean all this shit up, and then he'll send Bruce, Ivy, Harley, and everybody back to Gotham where they belong. We can get back on track. But share your questions, comments, and or concerns down below. Let's continue to talk about it. Check me out on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube, where you can leave your questions, comments, and concerns. Check out my other videos, because like I said, we're doing that Daredevil Born again up on my YouTube channel. And I look forward to reviewing some more superhero goodness, concluding season 5 of Harley Quinn with you guys, and continuing that Daredevil Born Again until we can review some more stuff. Hopefully that Captain America coming soon. So that was it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. So until the season finale of Harley Quinn season 5, take care. Family is forever. And remember, we're out this bitch.